Hey, everyone, welcome back to Crazy Chronicles, where we tell some of the craziest and most outlandish stories on the internet. People who lost their friend because of an illegal incident. What happened? He didn't even text me to not go to school the next day. Jeff had managed to get past the metal detectors with a fully loaded rifle that morning. By sheer divine intervention, a janitor spotted Jeff walking down the halls looking for a classroom to light up first. The janitor tackled him and screamed for help from the other teachers. Jeff was apprehended and arrested that day and later pleaded guilty. In our state, at 15 years tried as an adult, so Jeff was sentenced to 6 years in prison without parole. So now that my best friend was in jail, that left me to fend for myself in school. A lot of people believed that I was in on Jeff's plans and that I was gonna carry out his failed mission. The online bullying and isolation got so bad that I had no chance but to go to online school since my parents couldn't afford to move. The thing that pained me about leaving is that I left looking guilty to everyone else. I never cleared my name. The truth is Jeff was my best friend ever since kindergarten. We were into video games in high school like anyone else. People at school would call us incels. That obviously wasn't true, so I didn't care much. But Jeff must have taken it to heart and started to believe it. For a couple months before the incident, he and I got distant. So I never knew what he planned to do. He told me nothing. That's what got to me the most of it all. He told me nothing. I felt like I could have talked him out of it. That constant thought left me moping around in my room depressed for so long. My daily routine was essentially letting myself rot. I logged on for school, edited videos for my job, played video games until night. Then I would order food and binge eat every night because it comforted me like nothing else. I would be so stuffed that it would make me lethargic in doing that was the only way I could go to sleep. Ever since that day, I became a sort of insomniac. Every time I closed my eyes, I imagined Jeff squeezing the trigger against my forehead. It was also during this that I started gaining weight. For months, I was constantly bloated and most of my nights I spent with my eyes wide open and tears bawling down my cheek. The thoughts of everyone talking about me constantly revolved around my mind. My mom had to hold me down sometimes from my breakdowns. What was worse was that I having a lot worse mood swings the more I ate during the night, and I was slowly developing night eating syndrome. One day though, I stopped crying. While I was doing online school, my mom said there was a package for me. When I checked it out, it was a gift basket. I got scared at first because I thought it was one of the prank gift baskets. When I opened it, I was pleasantly surprised. There were bath bombs, flowers, Legos, night food, and the book Sun and Steel. I was so confused. There wasn't even a note or letter, anything to tell me who gave it. But then I realized that his sister must have given me the basket because every time I went to his house, she was always building Legos. That girl was hurting and knew that I was hurting too. I never had her contact info, so I couldn't thank her and I was too scared to even visit her house. I needed to show her that we could come out of this situation as stronger people. I started pacing around my house like a madman. Something needed to change. I sat down that night and I just started writing. Writing how insecure my bloated skinny fat look made me, that I needed to lose my love handles and my face fat. Spending all my money on food and my time on video games wasn't worth it. Instinctively, I almost ordered food to eat while I wrote. But I remembered I had the night food cookies and since my crush gave it to me, I could not eat them. I started scarfing down the chocolate chip ones like I was running out of time and they were surprisingly good. That's coming from someone who hates Chips Ahoy. I kept eating and writing and then it was like I blinked my eyes. I woke up, I looked around me. I must have fallen asleep on my chair while I was writing. I looked around and thankfully I didn't end up ordering food. I also didn't even sleep in my bed. When I got up, I stretched so hard that I had to go on my tippy toes. That was the best sleep I had in a long time. I didn't have to stuff my face for essentially a mediocre nap. I wondered what caused that so I thought back to earlier in the day and instantly knew it was the night food cookies because nothing else changed. I looked at the ingredients and then I had a brain fart moment. I never questioned why it was called night food, but it's literally because it's meant to be eaten at night. It said it was a healthier cookie that you can binge eat because it's literally made of melatonin flour, which I didn't even know was a thing. It also had other ingredients designed to make your nightly craving stop, which is why I didn't feel the need to binge eat in the night. This is perfect because I was looking over the plan I was writing last night and I forgot that not sleeping just kills your gains. And I also knew that if I could stop binge eating at night, I would be able to lose most of my belly fat. For the first time in my life, I started to take action. I wasn't gonna let this situation control me, and I wasn't gonna let people from my old school ruin my self-esteem just because I like playing cards with some dude. I'm not an incel and I'm not Jeff. Those people don't get to define me. So I built a routine for myself. Every morning, I did stretches and did those YouTube workouts videos. Then during the day, I would reward myself by playing video games or building the Legos his sister gave me only if I finished my set amount of workouts. I ate only 2 meals a day just to speed things up, and I cooked healthier meals too now that I didn't have such a craving for junk food. When nighttime came, I was already set. I'd read a bit of Sun and Steel, and that kept me motivated to work out the next day. I also deleted DoorDash and Uber Eats and ate my night food cookies immediately because they satisfied my cravings and made it very hard for me to even want to eat anything during the night. I wasn't tweaking at night like a madman anymore, thanks to the cookies. I finally felt human because I was able to go to sleep and I was able to live with my thoughts. I kept this up and in 2 months' time, I was already looking leaner. My love handles were gone and my face fat slimmed down. Working out and stopping my nightly binge eating truly changed my life. I'm glad I didn't get any worse. I decided since the school year was ending, I was going to see my friend's sister because I wasn't scared anymore. I went and bought her flowers and then 2 mini Lego sets, all as a thank you for helping me when I needed it most. I walked over to her house and I saw a big real estate sign in her yard. They had sold the house and moved away. The worst part was that I didn't know her Instagram, her Snap, not even an email. I felt so disappointed. I just spent a lot of time sitting on their curb just thinking about it all. Ultimately, I was grateful for her. She helped me in more ways than I could have imagined. She gave me night food and things that made me okay with being myself, like Sun and Steel that gave me the strength to transform my body. I hope she's in a much better place now. Away from her brother, away from me, away from school, anything that would tie us back to her brother. You know, I was okay with that. I'm happy for her.